For over 13 centuries, a slave trade you were never taught. Millions were taken, and their story was erased. This is the veiled genocide. The transatlantic slave trade is a story we know. But it wasn't the only one. There was another. It lasted longer. And in many ways, it was more brutal. This is the story of the Arab slave trade in Africa. A story of a veiled genocide. If you're ready for the truth, hit subscribe. Because this is history without the filter. This was a massive, organized network. The main hub was Zanzibar. From there, ships carried human cargo across the Indian Ocean. But the most terrifying route was across the Sahara, a 3-month death march through the world's most unforgiving desert. For every 2 people who started that journey, only one would finish. The skeletons of the fallen literally marked the trail. But this trade had a different, more sinister target. It wasn't about labor in fields. It was about control of the body. They targeted women. Overwhelmingly, the ratio was 3 women for every 1 man. You might want to ask, but why? It was for sexual servitude in harems. And the men? Their fate was even more final. They were castrated. This was a brutal mutilation. The survival rate was as low as 10%. 9 out of every 10 boys and men bled to death in the sand. This was a deliberate strategy to end bloodlines forever. We have the words of an eyewitness, the explorer David Livingstone. He described a caravan of 84 people, mostly children. Each had a large forked stick pinned to their neck. He saw a woman, too exhausted to go on, cut down by a slave driver's axe. And he was shown a newborn child, whose brains had been dashed out against a tree. This was business as usual for 1,300 years. But the enslaved did not go quietly. Tens of thousands of enslaved Africans, known as the Zanj, rose up. They torched plantations. They seized the great city of Basra. For 15 years, they held off one of the world's most powerful empires. Their rebellion was a cry of defiance that echoes through history. So why don't we know this story? Because of silence. Because of denial. The official trade wasn't abolished in some countries until the 1960s. But the legacy is still here. It's in the racist stereotypes that still exist in North Africa today. It's in the modern slave markets of Libya. This is not just history. This is a wound that never closed. We tell this story not to create hatred, but to honor the millions who were forgotten. We tell it to lift the veil, to remember their names. If you believe these stories deserve to be told, share this video. Subscribe to the channel for more forgotten history videos and documentaries. Thank you for watching.